We at Everything Experiential have been covering the event and experiential industry for over a decade. And this is high time that we pivot and launch a new version, a new set of conversations. And this is exactly what we're doing here today. This is the beginning of our new series, India's Top Event and Experiential Leaders, which will be a weekly show on everything experiential. And it's my honor to have Mr. Sabbas Joseph, co-founder of Wizcraft Group, with me on this very first episode.
Thank you, Rohel. Pleasure to be in touch with you and to be in the same frame as you.
No, it's my honor to have a name who is an institution in himself. A lot of eventpreneurs, who are out there today, have made the successes looking at his journey, and I think that's it's my pleasure to have you here. So. I want to move away from the conversations we have had. I mean, everybody, this is my, I think, third interview with you. It's been a long time since we did one. But I just want to understand, what is the event landscape of India at the moment like? When we talk about new IPs, are we doing enough on that front, or are we just going with those old IPs that we have select few? What is the landscape like at the moment?
I think the landscape, if you ask me, the old is still gold and the new is not too few. Okay? There's a lot that's happening on the new front. Several new and exciting IPs being created by new creators, new event entrepreneurs, and it's on multiple platforms. It's not just entertainment. It's on B2B IPs. It's on concerts. It's on music. It's on culture. It's in the space of art, combining different art forms on folk culture. If you look at tribal culture, you look at pop stars coming in, you look at P-pop, you'll soon be looking at K-pop.
Right.
And I think all of that is emerging not in the metros only. It's emerging in the B towns, it's emerging in the tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities. And all of these IPs, trust me, are being based on experiences. They're creating experiences that redefine the way we look at life, the way we look at events, the way we look at engaging with others. And these are new IPs, new creations. They will take time to settle in. They will take time for media to accept them, audiences to completely get engaged and immerse themselves in it. And as long as the creators have belief, have staying power, and are innovating year round, not just on those 3 days of the IP or 1 day of the IP,
Right.
As long as they create these as year-round connection points and engagement platforms, all of these IPs will succeed and create new stories.
Absolutely. When an Indian IP scales globally the way IFA has, tell me, what does it take to go from national to international? And what is your advice to people who really look at that kind of an ambition?
We are in event industry 2.0. On one side, we talk about go vocal for local. And the other side, we have to be global. I was in Rajasthan just a few days ago, and I was asked by an agency forum, what is your message for Rajasthan's regional event managers? And my only message was two. Regional is the new mainstream. There's no such thing as regional. You are mainstream. And two, you can sit in Rajasthan or in a village somewhere in India and you can still be global. Global is your thinking, global is your access to the world and how you look at the world and how you let the world look at you. It's about the ideas, it's about the passion, it's about the technology, and it's how you're combining creativity and technology to reach out to the world. So the next billionaire is going to come from a village, and the next billionaire event entrepreneur is going to come from a tier 2, tier 3 city. And that's the new India, that's the new event industry.
Wonderful. That's very encouraging to hear. I mean, that the change is already on its way. What does it take to go from national to international?
What does it take to go from national to international? I think to start with, stop thinking national. Dream global, act global, think global, and use technology to reach audiences wherever they are. There's no reason why this interview of ours needs to be only between the two of us. You're taking it to an Indian audience because you unlock the doors. Maybe you're putting it on YouTube, it's suddenly global. So global is the new local. And if you think global, you create for the world.
Right.
Any viewer, any community, any country, any brand must see value in what you're doing. Unless you're able to create value along with others in collaborations and reach out to me in my situation, in my environment, most often people trying to reach global audiences lack relevance. Audiences will connect with you if you are relevant. Create relevance, get your outreach in order, and reach out to the world.
Absolutely. I think we have tools and technology now
The technology
which can
exists
be
today.
harvested, in
Yeah.
that way, right? Absolutely. Let me come to one of the pain points which in my many years of covering the event industry, I take pride in being one of the journalists who covers event industry.
True.
And thanks to leaders like you have always encouraged in doing that. One of the pain points in the industry today is what is the smartest way to deliver breakthrough experiences without burning margins, because we know the state of economy at times and the things that are going around. So according to you, what do you suggest? What are the best ways to tackle it?
Breakthrough experiences without burning a hole in your pocket. Somewhere something is burning. You'll require to burn the midnight oil. You'll require to burn the candle from both ends. But if you do that, the chance of you creating a blaze that others recognize and see from far is very high. I maintain only incur costs that you can afford to incur. Don't spend what you don't have, and don't spend what you can't earn.
No fancy stuff.
Don't go fancy, not required. What's working in the digital world? Instagram, your YouTube, the real stories.
Absolutely.
It's not the faff, it's
Exactly.
not the overdressed stories or curated
Embellishments,
stories and embellished stories and overdressed stuff. Real is the real deal. The real is the deal that everyone wants. So, be
Stay
real, be honest, be sincere, be passionate, and you will succeed.
Right. We spoke about tech and the power of tech. Even a local can be global, that's what it can do. But, there has been an approach which is a very tick mark approach to tech by the event industry. We have seen, they just deploy technology which may not add value. So, what are the best circumstances or ways? What is the playbook to use tech in events, in experiential, in a way that really drives the value for the customer and even the event company?
I think all of us in the business of communication, entertainment, and experiences are out there to share a story, to tell a story. Use technology to tell the story better. Technology should never take away from the story. If you maintain this as your guiding principle, technology will always have a place, the story will always have a superior space. And tell the story right, get to the grain of the story, and you'll always win.
Don't be obsessed with tech. Be obsessed with the story and use tech. That is the approach. Right?
Absolutely bang on. You synopsize absolutely correctly. Don't get carried away by technology. Focus on the story.
Right. You know, another issue, I recently did an interview, and you know, what came to fore is that the talent crunch in our industry is real. Not many institutions are producing graduates who are ready to be deployed at work and deliver work with value. Uh, how do we address it as an industry leader? How are you looking at this piece, and how are you trying to address it?
The traffic will always come before the freeways and the highways. The urgency and the need for talent will always emerge before the talent does. Because the talent has not been choosing event management previously because there weren't enough jobs or no guarantee of jobs. Notice the number of engineers who went to IT because the jobs emerged. Notice the number who went to gaming because the jobs emerged. Notice the numbers that went to hospitality because the jobs emerged. Notice the numbers that are coming to event management now because the jobs have emerged. The event industry is going to employ almost 20 to 30 million people over the next few years. And that's serious employment opportunity in a country of 1.4 billion. Schools for event management are being set up. Programs are being set up for diplomas, certificate programs, graduation, and post-graduation. The country's new education policy has encouraged event management to be included in the graduation program. So you've got BAs, you've got BBAs, and you've got MBAs. The Jain University in Bangalore, the Jagrant Lake City University in Bhopal, there's the MSET coming up in Bhavans. There are 4 other universities coming up in different parts of the country. And the country has set up through the Media and Entertainment Skills Council the Indian Institute for Creative Skills, which is based in Delhi. And the Indian Institute of Creative Skills is not just focused on event management. It is creating an integrated program. Wishcraft Mime is leading on the event management program. Resul Pukuti, the Grammy Award winner, is leading on the sound recording program. Amit Bail, a renowned actor, is leading on the acting program.
Vertical, right.
Then there's Shankar Mahadevan through the Shankar Mahadevan Academy, who's leading on the singing and artistry and music composing program. So each of these, there's Lakshya Media, that a gentleman named Manvendra Shukul, who is a leader in the gaming and visual effects space. They're leading on that side. So different experts from across the country have come together to be able to create this best-in-class program and institution supported by the Skilling Ministry of the Government of India to be able to set up the first flagship school. This model will get replicated in other key cities across the country to be able to train talent, develop talent, and have them ready for the industry. Not only will the school be perfect, it will also deploy its programs in partnership with universities so that the BBAs, the graduation, the MBAs, and the doctorates suddenly have event management, entertainment, media management as part of what their offering is. And we're creating the next generation of experts and professionals, not just for India, for the world. The world will get its best talent from our country, from the media and entertainment industry and the event industry coming through in the next 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, 6 years.
So it's not just the IT that India would be known for talent. Of course, there's the other emerging place where the
If you had the IIMs and you had the ISB, now you have the ISES.
Absolutely. You know, mice and in the Indian context is growing in a very massive way. Do you think we are ready to compete with markets like Dubai, Singapore, Bangkok, which are the serious mice hubs globally? Are we closer to that? Are we gonna compete with them?
If you ask me, are we ready today? No. I'll be very candid to say no. Will we be ready tomorrow? Definitely yes. Over the last 12 to 18 months, something dramatic has happened in India. The government of India, led by the Honorable Prime Minister, Narendra Modi ji, has recognized the economic value of event management and captured it in the form of event tourism. The first thing that happened was Wed in India was launched. Of course, we were all part of that story. And India Says I Do was a campaign launched. And this has done wonders for the wedding industry. Weddings that were going abroad suddenly began to be held in India because everyone responded positively to the Prime Minister's call. Hotels booked, overbooked. Venues rocking, caterers, hotel prices zoomed, artist prices zoomed, everything went up. There was a huge economic value created, and that economic value and impact was captured in India, in the Indian economy, in taxes, in employment, in skilling, in retail trade, in shopping, in fashion, in jewelry, in hotels, in keys. And there are 1,300 more 5-star, 3-star, 4-star hotels coming up across the country. And they'll be ready in the next 3 to 4 years. Can you imagine what that does? So we will be having the facilities right. But in that entire process, one thing that happened, the prices of the weddings drove the market ballistic, making it unviable for corporate events to happen in India. So now more corporate events are happening outside India than in India. Because
the weddings have given
you just can't afford to have them held in India. The prices being expected by the hotels are just too high. They're irrational and predatory, if you may say so. And that's market driven and market conditions. So we'll have to wait and build that. The second key part is we require to build infrastructure. We have one Bharat Mandapam. We have one Yashobhumi. We have one Geo Convention Center. We have one HICC. We have one Vishwa Bangla in Kolkata. Where else do we have infrastructure? Hardly. A few hotels where they've got massive banquet halls. Otherwise, very poor infrastructure for holding conventions, exhibitions, etc. Yes, of course, there's been the Pragati Maidan. What the Bharat Mandapam and Yashobhumi have done, and what G20 has done, it has made governments across the country conscious that we need infrastructure. Rajasthan is building a Rajasthan Mandapam, and probably there is another 4 such convention centers coming up there across their key cities. UP is building a few. Maharashtra is building a few, Karnataka is building a few, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu. And because of the kind of infrastructure coming up across the country, almost some 70 convention centers coming up over the next 3 to 5 years. That is going to change. Global events will come to India because they've chosen India. Indian events will not go abroad because it's viable to do them in India. And It is exciting to be in India because infrastructure will develop roads, cars, quality buses, quality event infrastructure, quality decorators, sustainable equipment with LEDs, power saving, green generators, and sustainable printing. All of that will come into being. India's event industry will evolve, change, and transform. And Meet in India will be a reality, and the concert economy that the Honorable Prime Minister is speaking about will reach another zenith. It will drive the economy, and there's a 15% expectation to be delivered by the tourism economy. 5 to 7% of that tourism economy is going to come from the event industry. That's how important the event industry will become, and that's how important its role is for the future of India's economy, even as we surge forward to be the third largest economy in the world. So we have a place in India's story, and we are part of India's story, and we have to deliver to India.
So it's a matter of few years when we see this happening. Imagine what will it do to the event economy when all these infrastructure
Which
things
is why I
get
refer to
completed.
it as event industry 2.0. We are a new generation,
Right.
a new world, and a new marketplace, and
Right.
India is going to lead the world. We are not there as yet, but we'll get there.
We are on our journey is on, right?
We are on our way, and we are on the right track.
That's wonderful. You spoke about even the sustainability conversations have been there around the event industry and practiced also. But where are we in terms of scale? How much of awareness is there today as far as greener practices, sustainable practices in event industry is concerned?
I think we are very poor on this front. A lot more work requires to be done. Awareness, education is needed. Infrastructure to become green is needed. And we require to invest in this. What are the kind of printing facilities that we have? Can we get away from the plastic that was used? Can we get away from using wood all the time? Can we use metal? We've changed lighting to be LED LED. We've changed sound to be using power saving. We're using good quality work for LEDs. Generators, they require to become green. Can we have them solar powered? Can we have them using energy that is coming in from the usual electricity and being saved in those kind of giant battery packs? All of this requires to be brought in, invested in, and we all require to encourage each other to use this infrastructure. I think part of it, we require help from the government to provide incentives, to provide tax waivers, to provide, if not funding, but at least relaxed payment schedules, subsidies, etc. I think if we are able to get that, it'll help infrastructure companies to invest in this and provide the infrastructure that will help not just the event industry to go green, but India to go green.
So there has been a recent inter-ministry group being created to frame new policies for the event industry, and of course event bodies and industry bodies are involved including Wizcraft and EMA. Can you give me a sense of what exactly is happening on that front?
The joint working group has been created by the Government of India under the chairmanship of the Secretary, Information and Broadcasting, Mr. Sanjay Jaju, and the Joint Secretary, Mr. Pratul Kumar. This has brought together ministries from across various sectors. So you've got the Home Ministry involved, you've got environment, you've got tourism, arts and culture, sports, MSME, finance, revenue, and I can go on and on. Sports Authority of India, plus chief secretaries of the key states across the country, coming together along with industry leaders like EMA, ourselves, Wishcraft, Touchwood, Eva Live, Fiki, CII, District by Zomato, Book My Show, IPRS, PPL, RMPL, Indian Music Industry, IMI, all being represented together and being in a dialogue to establish common licensing programs, minimum licensing program, ideally a single window clearance, and all done with ease of doing business and speed of doing business. So it's easy, so much so that you will get your permissions within a time frame that is specified. So you know that you can do your event or not do your event if when you apply. And you will have venues that have pre-approved licenses. All of this new age policies the government of India is looking at and trying to implement for the benefit of the event industry. Also, policies with regard to taxation, with regard to subsidies, with regard to infrastructure creation. All of this is being addressed through the joint working group. I think it's a forward-thinking approach by the government of India. It'll ease business, especially the event industry. And if we all work together, it'll create a joint collaboration that will literally become a catalyst for growth, a catalyst for skill development, education, and economic impact will be created.
That's something very encouraging that's actually happening on ground. I think we have been at it as an industry for a long time, and finally it is taking shape.
Yeah, I think it has been something that has been our dream since we began the event industry in that sense. And it is awesome that the central government under the leadership of the Prime Minister is actually addressing these issues and looking at it very positively.
Wonderful. What would be your advice to young entrepreneurs trying to get into the event space, building their own IPs in India, especially in a market that is so crowded, has limited infrastructure, as we spoke earlier?
Here's what I will say. Those who are new and young and getting into the industry, be confident. AI is there for you to use. AI will not take your jobs away. AI will only help increase jobs in the event industry. 2, if you're an event entrepreneur or an event entrepreneur for the future, go create your IPs, create your business ideas, but create it for tomorrow. Create it for today. Use technology, use what infrastructure is available, and bear in mind, it's only going to get better. I don't see any reason why you can't do it. We have too few IPs. There's vacant space and virgin territory waiting for you. Take your flag, plant it on your idea, and watch your seed grow.
Wonderful. The story of Wizcraft is also a story of leadership, a story of teamwork, people. How do you define your leadership style? You've sustained an IP, it's just grown from strength to strength. How do you define that success of keeping a brand alive, robust for such a long time?
I think it all comes down to teamwork. Wishcraft group was set up by my colleagues, Viz. Andre Timmins, Viz. Virav Sarkari, and myself, Viz. Sabbas Joseph. We set ourselves a vision, a mission, and a journey. And I think if we did not have the vision of being able to create a world of experiences, a world that is best in class globally, we wouldn't have achieved what we did or what we have. I do believe that we have a still long way to go, and we'll get there. And God willing, go beyond. The IP you're talking about is IFA. IFA had a vision to go across the world, connect with audiences, connect with people, connect with countries, using cinema as a medium to build a one people, one world. So wherever we've gone, we've embraced that culture, and that culture, people, and country have embraced us. And we've traveled from country to country, gathering new audiences every year. I think your vision determines your success. If your vision is one that connects with others, that cares about a bigger world, a better world, more people, more organizations, more brands will connect with you and want to become part of your journey. So I think IFA is not our success, but it's a success of the stakeholders around us, the friends, the teams, the film industry, the television industry, the brands that have participated with us, the countries that have embraced us. And through this, we saw a larger vision that wherever we went, we represented India and we were planting a flag for India. So, wherever we go, we represent our people, our community, and if you have a flag for India, you can hold it high, be proud, and celebrate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, our finally, I want to ask you about you interact with the industry. Through forums and other ways. What would you like to tell our industry? Because they're all looking for a pivot. They're looking for a promise. They believe in the big dream of the event industry. What would you like to tell them?
What would I like to tell my event industry? Believe in yourselves. Believe in the power of dreams. Be brave. Be bold. Dream big. Bigger, the better. You will get there. The impossible is only a word. The barriers are in your mind. Go for it. Kill. Success will be yours.
Amazing. I mean, talking to you really makes me realize that what a big promise this industry holds, and definitely maybe next 3 or 4 years is the big pivot when we see things being realized, what we have been told about and what we have expected to happen. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Joseph.
The next 3-4 years, this industry will grow, and the next 3-4 years, you'll be launching Event Industry 3.0. Be ready for that. It's the next generation, a generation that will take India to the world.
Wonderful. That was the maestro himself of the event industry talking to us. And thank you so much for taking out time and sharing your thoughts with us. Thank you.